Welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. We've got a brand new iron here for you to review, and it is the Cobra King Forged MB iron. So beautiful looking blade, blacked out, very stealth-like, black shaft, obviously black grip. It looks very stunning. Little piece of equipment here. So we're going to put this to the test. We've got GC2 HMT as always. I'm going to give you some feedback of my feelings around this club, how it feels, how it looks, how it performs, and maybe see if this is going to be a sort of club that might go on your radar to go and try. So just before we jump into the video, if you haven't already subscribed, then please consider doing so. Hit that subscribe button, bottom right hand corner of the screen, MNG logo. Hit the bell icon to get notifications of any future videos, and also hook up on social media. So I've got my Twitter at MNGolfCoach, and then also my Instagram at MNGolfCoach also. Okay, so the new King Forged MB iron. So a beautiful looking golf club. It's a very compact head as you'd expect for a blade club. It's forged. It's stunning, very little offset, very thin top edge, very squat sort of head shape behind it. It's just a very simple looking club, and I love it in this black finish, especially with this black shaft that they're putting here. So KBS shaft that is now blacked out, so it just looks all black. Now, obviously, as what you'll see on the video here is a little polished silver bit at the top of the hose. We'll ignore that because this is a fitting iron, so that's where they're obviously chrome. A normal iron will just come all black, so black ferrule and everything, so it looks very black and stealth-like as you look it down by the golf ball. So sits obviously beautiful. Now, as a stock option, these come as a split set, so a 4-iron to 6-iron will come in a CB, which has got that small cavity in the back of the club, and then in the 7-iron to pitching wedge will come in this what I've got here, which is the MB and the blade. Now, through custom, you can basically have what you want. So you could have MBs from 4 all the way through to wedge, or you could have CBs from 4 all the way through to wedge. So obviously I've not got a CB at the moment, but I've got the MB in my hands here, so we'll just want to review, but you can split it. So the lofts are the same with CB to the MB. So this is 7-iron, 34 degrees of loft. So as you'd expect, it's not super strong. It's pretty traditional. Got myself set up at about 170 yards from the green because I'm not expecting this to be a long hitting iron, but it should feel pretty good, I would say. Let's get this first one hit. Yeah, and that feels stunning. It's a typical flight. I'd expect it's going to be a sort of fairly high-ish ball flight there with that sort of loft number. It feels good, feels responsive. That's hit the green quite nice. It looks to be stopping pretty quick there, first glance. As I say, we'll look at those numbers a little bit more detail. Got this set just slightly upright, X-Flex, so pretty spec'd up to me. So typically in a blade iron review, there's very little to sort of talk about because obviously we don't generally see a lot of technology in the head, but this is a little bit different with what Cobra are offering here. So we've got obviously a blade head here, it's in this black finish, but we've got some tungsten inserts here, and tungsten in the sole of the club and also in that toe section. So what Cobra's saying here, they've obviously designed these around Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler plays these. He's had a lot of influence, I think, in the design of these. And by putting the tungsten in the middle section of the sole and also the toe section of the sole is increasing MOI. So basically making these a little bit more forgiving. So it's lowering that CG placement, a little bit more behind that hitting area, and is actually creating a more forgiving golf club, even though it's a blade, and we generally, we don't associate forgiveness with a bladed club. And granted, this won't be as forgiving as maybe the CB option or obviously a more game improvement option, but for a bladed club of this size, Cobra claim this is quite or more forgiving than maybe what a blade would be without the tungsten in there. It feels stunning. I mean, it feels like it should do. It's a blade club. It feels great. It feels like I've got control. And again, this is what these irons are all about. And I enjoy hitting these types of irons because I feel like I've got that level of control. I don't feel like I'm going to get that freaky one that goes 15 yards further, or that low spinning one that again hits that longer shot when I don't want it to. Because obviously with iron, I want to hit that number. I've got face with the number on that fairway. I pick a club wanting it to hit that number. I don't want that one that going a little bit further, which sometimes you tend to find with the more maybe game improvement irons. So the other bit of technology that we're seeing also carry over from the driver, to be honest, in the F8 is this CNC milling of the club face. So we saw that introduced with the F8 driver. We're now seeing it in the irons here. So this is basically the milling of these grooves ensures they get sharper groove edges, more consistent than just sort of cast grooving, and creating a little bit more consistency of that spin and a higher spin number. And to be honest, watching those balls come into land there, they seem to be stopping pretty quick. Not looked at spin number as yet, we'll do in a little while, but I'm guessing that spin number is going to be on the higher side there because they do look to be stopping pretty quick. So that's possibly a lot to do with that, the CNC milling on the actual club face. A little bit more consistent, hopefully, which again we'll have a little look at. Let's get this third one here. Sort of like high towering flight. Feels stunning. Feels really good. I know that's going to come in with a lot of control. See, that's just jumping back a little bit. I'm getting these just to pull back a little bit, which I don't often do. So 163 carry. We know it's not going to be the longest hitting golf club because of the loft, because of, you know, there's no real sort of trampoline effect happening on the club face here. There's no slots in it or anything like that. So, but again, I don't want it to be. I want it to be hitting that number, and hopefully these numbers are going to be pretty consistent here, which is what this iron is all about. So some of you out there are probably thinking, we've seen these black heads before and they mark incredibly quickly and, you know, scratch up, and then that black coating sort of goes and then they start to look quite tatty. Now, Cobra's saying here this is a new finish that they've introduced here, which is a DBM finish, which stands for diamondized black metal. Okay, so it's chemically planted into the metal here as opposed to maybe just a coating on the head. So they're saying the durability of this is much improved against maybe previous black-headed sort of models. Obviously, a test over time will only show that, but maybe got to take Cobra's word for that. Yeah, it's beautiful. I like the feel of that. Stunning looking iron. It just does everything I'd expect it to do there. Feels good, flight's nice and high, it looks to be stopping pretty quick, it looks to be pretty consistent on that numbers that it's giving me. It's good, and I love the look of it, and I love that black finish. Some people go, well, I don't like that black. I think the black makes it look smaller, so that might intimidate maybe some golfers, but I think the golfer that's going to be into this particular club is probably going to be a good ball striker anyway, to be into an MB head, so that's probably not going to be an issue. So if you like that very squat finish, then this is going to tick a box for you, I'll guess. Okay, so as you can probably see, there's a little bit of technology for a bladed iron. There's a little bit happening here. And the other point to make out here is Cobra saying is the processing of forging goes through a 5-step process here, where many other competitors' forging maybe is a 2 or 3-step process. So with that going through more of a process, they can enable them to get the grain of the metal a lot tighter, a little bit more consistent, and avoid getting any sort of like voids in the metal or any sort of holes in the metals in a way. Obviously, these are going to be really, really small holes, but a bit tight on that grain in there against other competitors in terms of forging. So maybe a little bit more consistency of that feel, how the ball comes off. Very difficult to obviously test that. I mean, this is sort of small margins, isn't it? But maybe just another example of maybe what you're paying for here, and just a little bit more of the quality of the finish of the club. Okay, so I'm going to hit one last one here. Feels great. Really enjoyed hitting that. Yeah. Really enjoyed hitting that. Again, that's hit the green nicely and pulling up pretty sharp as well. Touch pulling edge, gone a couple of extra yards. Let's just have a look at some numbers there and see how consistent it is, which is one thing I'm expecting it to be. Interested to see that spin number. I'm expecting this to be a little bit on the high side, and we'll see how that is actually performing. Okay, so let's look at some numbers here. So we've got club head speed just under 94 mile an hour, ball speed just under 122. So not as quick as maybe it's fine. Expect to see maybe more game improvement iron, but again, this iron isn't all about that. Launched at 20 degrees, so it is launching quite high. As I saw that, it's quite a nice high sort of towering ball flight as it's sort of designed to do. And spin number there, you can see averaging at 7431. Interesting. So as I saw, the ball stopped to be pretty quick there, and that's quite a high sort of spin number. So we know that that slightly higher launch with slightly less ball speed and a high spin number isn't going to equate for loads of distance. So if you're looking for an iron to hit it ball further, you're looking in the wrong area with this iron. This iron is more aimed at that golfer. Maybe doesn't need that speed, but wants that consistency, that feel, maybe that playability of the club. So maybe looking at some carry numbers there. So 164, 65, 62, 63, 67 there. So you can see maybe 5 yards between those front to back dispersion there. And probably that 167 came from just turning that over a little bit. So you see the others, I hit a soft little fade with a lot of those. That wasn't intentional. It's just what sort of the way that sort of ball came out from that particular club. The last one you see, I just turned it over a fraction. So that's what's going to reduce the backspin number a little bit, as expected, and just that little bit more yardage out of there because of that. But again, it's tight, so 5 yards, I'm more than happy with that front to back dispersion with that. Okay, so there we have it, the new Cobra King Forged MB iron. As I say, they do a CB option here. Unfortunately, I've not actually got that. So you can have it a split combo or all MBs, all CBs. So obviously through custom fit, you can really do what you want. And obviously I'd always advise you to go and get fitted, get trying these. There is some different shaft options. This is the stock one that comes in it, which is a good shaft. It's a low launching, more stable shaft. Obviously comes in the black, which ties in with the head here, but obviously you can have really what you want in there. Still comes with a Cobra Connect at the end of the grip, so you can track your shots, your rounds, etc., which is a great little feature if you're into your sort of stats. But really good iron. Let me know your thoughts, comment down below. Are you liking that black finish? I'm loving that. I think that sits stunning. You know, I can quite easily game those, and it doesn't feel too hard a club to hit either. So whether that tungsten's just playing a part, I mean, to be fair, I did strike those pretty well, so but maybe an off day might vary my strike a little bit. Those tungstens will probably just be there to help me out a little bit more on those bad days, or poorer timing days, should I say. Okay, thanks very much for watching. As I say, let me know your thoughts about that new iron from Cobra. I'm liking that. Hopefully you are, so comment down below. Is that something you go out there and test? If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Very much appreciated. Hit that logo in the bottom right hand screen, or there'll be another logo up there you can hit and subscribe. Follow my social media platforms, so Twitter and Instagram, both at MN Golf Coach, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.